What's going on, everybody? So in this video we're going to show you some live recordings of trades I made on Friday with Thinkorswim. So this is going to show you some kind of order lag, order execution issues that Thinkorswim has. This is nothing new. This has definitely been around a while. Pretty much ever since Thinkorswim went to 0 commissions on their platform, we've been kind of seeing these issues pop up with some level of regularity. It doesn't happen every day, it doesn't happen every week, not every month, but it does happen from time to time, and it happened to me on Friday. So basically what happens here is you put an order in to buy or sell, and it either A, just kind of hangs out there in the balance and doesn't even fill you at the right price, or it hangs out there in the balance and you can't close it, and it kind of works in the background, but just kind of lags populating in Thinkorswim, but it still fills you at the right price. So we're going to show both of those examples. The first trade I made was on the first minute of the day. That one actually filled me at the right prices. It was slow populating in Thinkorswim. And so the problem is during this period, you can't do anything with these positions, right? So if officially you're in the position because it filled you at the right price, but you can't change the position, you can't sell it, you can't close, you can't do anything. And then the other example is going to be the opposite. So I get filled in fine, I get, the buy order goes in fine, but when I try to sell, that's when it now is basically hanging out there. It's actually not filling me, it's lagging, even filling me, but I get really lucky in these trades because they both go in my favor and the price holds up long enough to where I'm able to get out of these trades at a good price. So stick around for this one, guys. Hope you enjoy this. So the first example we're going to show here is going to be on Apple. So note the timestamp here. We're basically a full minute into the trading day at this point. So Thinkorswim is notorious for these types of issues in the first minute or so of the day anyway. But I myself don't really even trade during that period. The price action tends to really kind of whipsaw back and forth, very unpredictable, can lose a lot of money quick. So I usually just naturally avoid those things anyway. I don't really ever feel these type of issues. And so for me, Thinkorswim has been great for the last several months. I've had no problems. So I was completely blindsided by this. I was not expecting this to happen at all. So note that I am in full share size on this, and this is going to become important on the next trade because this trade and what happens here is going to affect how I handle the next one. So full size here on Apple, and so you can see I'm basically targeting this pre-market support level here at 132. Basically the idea with this trade was to be kind of quick in and out, just kind of a quick scalp right back up after the flush. Nothing too long, but unfortunately Thinkorswim had other ideas. So you're going to see here it starts kind of getting bought up off 132. So I jump in 500 shares, and the order's hanging out there in the balance, right? So I'm trying to kind of cancel, trying to click the X. It went away, but it didn't actually cancel it. And the way I know is because up in the left-hand corner, these notifications would say order canceled. It would let me know, and it didn't. So you can see over here on the right, it's not populating, right? This is just basically a working order in the background. I have no idea what's going to happen now. I don't know if I'm going to get filled properly, get filled at all, if it's going to cancel. I have no clue what's going to happen. But there you go. So now you can see it actually does fill me there. So I get filled 500 shares long here at 132.16. So look at the time now. So we're 30 seconds in. That was basically 30 seconds of unknown, right? And 30 seconds is a long time when you're in a full-size position like this in the open. It feels like an eternity. But all in all, it worked out okay because you can see I did get filled at the right price. The price popped up. I'm profitable, 80 bucks on the trade. But so at this point, now that I'm understanding that Thinkorswim is having problems today, I'm just like, get me the hell out of this. So once it fills, I basically just put an order in to get out. So you can see I throw the order in there at about 132.40, and yet again, it's hanging in the balance, right? So now you can see my P&L is changing here. The order is still not filling. I'm still officially active. So now again, the question is it going to fill me properly? Am I going to fill at the right price? Hopefully the price doesn't just flush down and, smoke me. So eventually here it does fill. There you go. So now I am out. So you see $132 P&L. A notification there says 132.43 I got filled. So in this case, I basically avoided disaster, right? But there's been times in the past when I haven't been able to avoid it. There's been times in the past where this type of trade here maybe pops up and rolls over, and so usually you can just sell that out and just cut your losses, or take a small profit, whatever. But with Thinkorswim lagging your orders, it can then roll over and start going down on you, and you're stuck in a position you can't get out of. So it's a very dangerous situation, especially being in full size like this. And it's not even just about the money; it's also about your mental state too, right? When I came into this day, I was trading calm and collected. I saw a great setup, I pounced on it, no hesitation. But then Thinkorswim destroyed everything, right? It basically, put this dark cloud over my trading now, and now I have no confidence, no comfortability in what's happening. I'm completely out of control. So this does not have a domino effect on the next trade. So when I show you Neo, basically what happens with Neo is same type of setup here, except a lot further down, a lot less risky and much better trading setup. But even then, you know, I'm starting to become timid now. I'm like, should I really even take this trade? Do I trust this thing? You know, so not only am I kind of gun shy, but also I then have to size my shares down to kind of hedge against it. So on to NEO now. So we are now 3 minutes into the trading day. So it's 8:33. So usually 3 minutes in, the issues with Thinkorswim are usually done for. Especially with Apple, the way that it actually was filling my orders okay. It was just lagging, populating them. You know, I was kind of deciding with this. I'm like, okay, this is a great trading setup, right? So you got a bullish stock, breaking into new highs here, flushing down. You know, huge gap between the moving averages and VWAP. So I'm seeing this as a go-to trading setup. You know, a very low risk, high probability trade. But because of what Thinkorswim is doing, I'm a little bit hesitant, right? So I kind of quickly decided, okay, I'm going to try it. Hopefully it works. But I'm going to size way down. So I'm only taking 200 shares here. I usually trade NEO comfortably with at least 500 shares, if not more. So this is kind of a smaller position for me. So we'll let the tape roll here on this. And so you're going to see, actually, the order does fill quick. So you see I jump in there around 56.70s. Order fills 56.68, pretty much right away. So I'm thinking, okay, the order issue's in the past now. I'm like, okay, it was just kind of a, you know, first minute of the day, opening thing on Apple, no big deal. So, you know, at this point, I'm getting a little more comfortable. I'm just kind of like, okay, I'm, you know, resuming my day here. So you see NEO's popping up here, and you know, I try to kind of scale out just, I think, like 40% of the position or something. So I know this thing's pretty strong, but, you know, based on the fact that it's still the early part of the day, I'm not expecting this thing to really kind of just go on a tear. I'm expecting to kind of get back up around the highs and maybe kind of sell off again. So I put an order for 75 shares, and you see, again, it's hanging on the balance. So now I'm basically having the order lag issues a second time. But this time I'm having issues getting out as opposed to getting in. And so you see I'm trying to click the X again. It's not going away. It's just hanging out there. So now I'm basically like just stuck. You know, I don't know what to do. So I'm waiting to kind of see if it's going to fill here to see what's going to happen. And so once it actually fills, I'm going to point something out to you that's a little bit different from the Apple example. So in the Apple example, we talked about how the order was actually filling me at the proper price. It just was lagging, populating Thinkorswim. Well, this here is going to be the opposite. So it filled in Thinkorswim. You can see my P&L is growing there. But once this actually fills, it actually fills me at the wrong price. Yeah, so I'm trying, okay, so there it goes. It's not I closed it, right? So so I was able to get rid of it, but it still filled right at the same time. So now you see this look. So I put the order down here around $57. The order filled at $57.20. Okay, so now it's actually filling the orders improperly, which is a bad thing. So in this case, you know, I kind of got a fortuitous move, right? It didn't roll over, it kept going. So I actually got filled higher than I should have. But at the same time, this kind of stuff here is what can kill you, because if it goes the other way on you and you're having to wait to get filled at a crappy price, you can really take a big loss from, you know, something that's not even your own fault. So now at this point, I'm just trying to get out because I see that the issues are back. And because it's happening all kind of fast, I kind of fumble around with the share size here a little bit. You know, I'm kind of putting in 50 and 100, and I think so. Eventually, I think I just do flat, and then finally I get filled. But you can see, as I put in 100, same thing again, just hanging around, right? And so there is kind of a notification that pops up here. Hopefully, I can pause at the right time. Let's see. This is going to be important kind of to show kind of what I knew about Apple, where it gives me a notification of whether or not the order is canceled. Should be any minute now. Okay, there it is. So you see that right there? It actually did tell me it was canceled, right? So in the Apple example, I closed it, I hit the X, it went away, but it didn't tell me it was canceled. So that right there is how I knew that Apple order was working in the background. So this one now, yeah, I'm basically just, you know, I got that one canceled, and I'm just going to put the flatten in there, get rid of the whole thing. And so I think yet again, I do get kind of a fortuitous pop here and get filled high. So you see the orders going in around 57.45, maybe 57.48 on the bids there. A lot of buying here at 57.50 on the ask. So the orders out there, see, just popped up now. We're up into 57.60s. So I'm just hanging around. There it goes. So it finally fills me. And so look, it fills me at 57.58. So I basically got another, what, 10, 15 cents out of that I probably shouldn't have. So this here is an example of kind of the opposite of Apple, where the orders are actually filling improperly, meaning, you know, you're putting the order in here, but it's filling you later than it was supposed to. So that's where this can become very, very hazardous, because, like I said, in this case, it was going the right way, and I actually got pretty lucky in that the moves really were stronger than I, you know, even expected. You know, especially Apple. I didn't think Apple would hold up as long as it did. This one here, I maybe thought could do some things. You know, mean, I know how this stuff works in the morning. Any kind of big moves early tend to not really hold very well. There's usually some consolidation that's happening before moves can kind of move higher. But either way, you know, I got really lucky that these prices held up, and I was able to get out at a good price. But like I said, in the past, there's been times when I've not been so lucky. You know, I've actually lost money because of this. So I'm sure some of you have probably experienced the same thing. So go ahead and comment down below, guys, if you've got any feedback on this or, you know, just got any comments. Hit the like button, subscribe, and thanks for watching, guys.